We have potentially found a home. Like, we love the home. We think that the inside needs to be completely redone pretty much, but it's very livable and we love the space. The outside is amazing. As you all know, we have not been doing a whole lot of traveling in 2026. It started out being because I was unsure of my job. We do have a trip coming up for my birthday, and I have a feeling that's probably going to be the last trip of 2026. And if you've been here before we turned mostly travel, you know that we've been trying to buy a house. How many days have we been trying to buy a house?
1,280.
Exact, 280. And so Miss Maddie had a little bit of a hard time sleeping last night. And so she decided to dig into the Bible. And I'm going to let her explain how that happened and what she found out.
So eventually I popped on over to Revelations, and I specifically read Revelations 11:3. And that one mentioned the number 1,260 days. And after reading that, I went over to I went to the next chapter, Revelations 12:6. And guess what? That one also mentioned 1,260 days. Well, just for funsies, because I don't know, I guess I'm just weird like this, I decided to try to correlate that to our situation. So what I did is I calculated how long it had been from the time we moved out of our old home to the time to today. And when I looked that up, well, my mind was kind of blown because it was 1,280-ish days. At the time it was 1,279 days, but now it's 1,280 days. So my mind was a little bit blown, and whereas that's not a big deal to most people, it was a big deal to me. And the funny thing about those numbers is the fact that is roughly 3.5 years. 3.5 years may not seem like anything to anyone else, but the thing about us is the fact that my entire life has basically been a whole bunch of threes. Every major event in my life, it happened in threes. I was one place 3 years. This thing happened 3 years. So many threes have been in my life that is honestly just very weird, and I don't really know what to think about it, but it's here and I can't help that. So finding out that we found a house that we really, really want, that it's everything we've ever asked for in a house, everything. There's not a single thing in it that's different that I can think of from what we have prayed very heavily to have in a house. So to find out that was 3.5 years, which the 3 and the fact that if you there have been other vlogs where we've talked about the fact that 3 is very prominent in our life. That was kind of just very mind-blowing. I know I keep saying that a lot, but it really was. So I don't know, that kind of just leads me to believe that this is really the house for us, because 1, it's everything we've ever wanted in a house, and 2, the fact that it has been 3 years since we have lost our old home. And we've tried to buy houses before. It's not that we haven't. It's just that it wasn't what we wanted, or it just fell through and we just didn't get it. So now that it has been 3.5 years since we lost our home until now, I don't know. I just feel like it's very strange. I feel like all of this is too strange to not mean anything. So what I'm saying is that this is going to be the house for us, number 1, because I really love this house. But number 2, even if this isn't the house for us, I definitely think the house for us is coming. But really, I really do think it's this one. And my hair is being crazy. Because the time, it's all about the time. It just... yeah.
So when I wake up this morning, of course she makes sure I have bang so that I can process everything, but she lays this on me. And honestly, I just lost it. I got very emotional because that is a very specific
Time period?
Yeah, it's very specific, and those numbers like are very specific to us right now. And I just thought it was crazy just how much those correlate with one another, because from the get-go she has said this is such a God thing, and I have just been very negative and like I think I'm too close to the situation. I don't feel like it's a God thing yet, but you know, maybe it is. I don't know. We've done this once before and we got heartbroken, and so we decided to go ahead and film as if we're getting the house, and whether we do or don't, we're gonna keep the vlog, and this is going to be a vlog.
Like, honestly, this is a lot, because what if we do get this and we get to edit us having a house?
It could be. So it is currently February 28th, and we decided to just have some fun today. Fun to us. So what we did is we went and drove by the house, and I will say, like, just first impressions, the house is still great, but the neighborhood is like busier than what I kind of thought it was going to be. But at the same time, it is Saturday and everybody's home off of work, so I think it's going to be fine. Again, we love this house. And then from there we went to Lowe's, and we just looked at everything. So do you want to show? I have to probably get it up close. So the first thing with this house is it definitely needs paint. So it has wallpaper, like 2 different types of wallpaper in the kitchen. It's just very busy. It has carpet in the living room, and then her bathroom has wallpaper. And my bathroom, I think, also has wallpaper. I don't remember.
It does. Both of ours have wallpaper that are kind of nasty, but my wallpaper honestly kind of looks like me, which is weird.
Yeah, it does look like her, and we both love like our rooms, and hers. So it is like 2 masters. So she gets her room and gets to have a bathroom in there, and then I get my room and I have a bathroom, and then in my room there is a sunroom that we're gonna turn that into the office. So that's where I'm gonna work, and that's where she's gonna do school. But anyways, so one of the first things we did is we went to go check out paint. And so I know we really jumped the gun if we don't have the house, but I don't know if this really comes through on camera, but I want the house, like the main living quarters, I want the main living quarters to be this gray color. Something else we were considering is kind of like a white, but it's, again, I don't think the colors are going to come through too good. This is called Dover white, and I do really like this. So like the thought is the floors, whereas they're like a brown now, I want kind of like a cherry flooring, and we're probably gonna do like the LVP. And so we went to try to find some of that, and we did find one we liked, but the sample looks way different than what they had up on the wall, and we want like a darker brown. And I paired it with the main paint color, and it really looked good. Really good. The only concern I have with going with this gray is the recliner and eventually the sofa I want to get is also gray. So that's a lot of gray on gray, but it does have a brick fireplace, and that's something else I'm struggling with. But this gray went really well with the brick, and so I think that it's going to be just fine. And then if I decide to do an accent wall in my room, I'm going to do this lavender escape. And I thought it was really pretty.
It really is really pretty. I don't think the camera's getting it as good as it really is.
It's really not.
It's really pretty.
Like, I don't know what the issue is. Maybe it's too sunny. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But after we looked at paint samples, we also looked at dishwashers, and I'm bougie. I like an expensive dishwasher.
And refrigerator.
And refrigerator. We did look at refrigerators. The refrigerator that's in the house, it's not that bad if it stays. I can totally live with it for years, but the stove and the dishwasher, they gotta go. We did not find a stove. Well, yes, we found one that would work, but it's not what I want. It's still not what I want.
It's not what I want either, but I bet we can find a different one that we like.
I bet so too. But we did find a refrigerator, and it is a lot. And then we priced what the paint was on the way to the park.
$68.98.
Well, we got it cheaper. $64?
Yeah, $64.98.
Yeah, and it's gonna take a lot to do the whole house. So that's kind of how we spent our Saturday. We also looked at kitchen faucets because we hate the faucet in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, it's really got to go. But we also didn't really like what we didn't like what Lowe's had either. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. So it's just, there's a lot of updates to make, and I was telling her that obviously I'm not gonna have the money just to do this all, and so I want to save, like, really the kitchen and the living room as far as paint. I want to save for those together.
Yeah.
And then we can work our way to the bedrooms. And of course, if this is ours, we're gonna take you guys along 100% of the way.
Yes.
So if you're strictly here for travel,
You get house remodeling too.
You get house remodeling, yeah. Travel is definitely gonna look a lot different if we get this house, but I do think that God was preparing me for that anyways. And I did originally think that we weren't traveling because I was gonna lose my job. And now it looks like it's really because we're getting a house and we can't really travel as much with a house. But I do want to, like, show how you would still travel even with all the bills that most people have. And so I think that, you know, we'll definitely still take those trips. It just is going to look a lot different.
Yeah.
And we're not going to meet our deadline of getting all 50 states in before she graduates. But I'm okay with that because I really do like this house.
Me too.
So we have an appointment on Monday with the realtor to go physically look inside the house. And the plan is to write an offer right then and there. I worked on my pre-approval on Friday. I'm going to be in big trouble at work probably because I did that mostly. But I got the pre-approval. We're just waiting on the verified letter, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. And so that's really all we have to update you all on. So let's see if we get the house.
We're going to get the house.